Here we go. Okay, and we are on YouTube too, so we're
We're ready to go. We're going. Okay, so I'll call the meeting to order. Do we have any declaration of pecuniary interest? Okay, would somebody like to accept the agenda? Okay. I'm going too fast, Brenda, let me know.
No, it's okay.
Everybody got a chance to read the last minutes. Would anybody like to accept them? Gladys and Mary again, okay. And just to let you know that Steve is sends his regrets. And Carrie has sent in her letter of resignation. So the township will do that through the township, not through the board. Okay, we'll move on to our standing agenda items. We'll start with the finance and the budget update. As we told you the last time, Steve and I worked with Chris to go over the budget. Do we want to start on the budget itself? Did everybody get a chance to look at it?
I'll be honest, I saw it,
Okay,
but I never looked at
okay.
it.
There's nothing really big on there.
I think the thing that stuck out to me the most was the candy yogurt lines. Excuse me. Just the fact that we're looking at most to be $0, it's like a revenue neutral with that. That just seemed a little bit surprising to me.
What do you mean, Chris? Explain that, sorry.
So we're expecting that we're going to have $5,000 in expenses and $5,000 in revenue. So $0 total. Like it's not going to be a fundraiser for us. It's not going to be. It's just going to be revenue neutral. And so I just question what the purpose of.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
sorry, Chris. That should probably be 10,000.
Okay.
We usually double our money up on the probably because we didn't buy a lot of candy last year. We were just getting over COVID. So we didn't sell a lot, but that should be 10,000. No, it's not revenue neutral by any means.
Yeah, because I know we lost $2,000 on it last year, but obviously COVID and everything was a little bit funky. So I assumed it would be different than that. But I was just, the 5,000, that's what I.
Well, we budgeted 5,000 for last year, but we didn't spend nearly that amount.
You spent $2,020 and your revenue was $3,884.
Yeah, so we almost doubled it.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else have a question? The only thing that's really gone up is would be the salaries and benefits, because we're bringing Jillian in a little longer. Any other questions on this?
Can we, I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to really look at it. Can we maybe just, I'll put it on the agenda for next meeting, just in case anybody has questions.
Okay,
they have a
sure.
chance to look. That's fair.
So let's move on to the museum capital forecast then. So, and we'll look at this further down the line when we look at the strategic plan, okay? These are just things that I mentioned that I knew had to be done, and that would be the heritage window repair on the church. We did get a rough estimate of about $20,000 to replace those windows. So the office will be looking at to see if there are any grants over the next 2 years. I'm not saying they have to be done right away, but you know, Jillian, they are in bad shape. Yes, so, and the office building store foundation repair, when we received the funding to put on the new front deck and the gazebo, we did notice that there was a few cracked blocks in the foundation of that corner. But the deck is set up in a way that you can pull it out. The posts are not right up onto the building. We couldn't do it at that time because if anybody remembers, we had a limited time. The contractor came, it was snowing out, and we just did not have we had to have that work done, in accordance with the grant. So that wasn't done. Yes, so we'll have to look at that foundation repair in the future, okay? And then when we go down to the museum reserve plan, you can see over the next 10 years how much we are putting into reserve, because we now have several buildings that roofs are gonna have to be changed on and painting and upkeep. So we'll start out with 2,800. I'm not sure that that's even enough, and we'll work our way up to 4,500 a year. We'll budget that amount a year, okay?
Yeah, I just have a question.
Yeah.
And Chris, maybe you can answer it. Is there like a formula for figuring out what your reserve should be? You know, like, is there like, should you be setting aside 5%, 1%?
Yes, that's in our reserve policy, but because we started so low, if you jump directly to,
It's too much. Okay.
it's
That's
the
what,
same
so,
for all of our assets, which is why
Okay.
the capital asset program is in place. So
Okay.
all municipalities are trying to put aside money, but we all don't have enough
Yeah,
to
so,
replace
so,
everything.
yeah, just what, out of interest, what is the reserve percentage? What should it
I
be?
don't have it with me.
Oh, okay, but it is a certain percentage. Okay. Okay, thanks.
Does anybody have any question on this?
Can I just?
Yes.
When you talk about the repair to the window, are you, what are you talking about replacing?
Replacing the
with
windows
what?
with heritage wooden windows.
Okay, that's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
And to keep in line with the look of the building.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any questions, Chris? Any more questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay. We've got managers report on here, but I don't think you have anything.
No,
to
this is,
report, do you?
they're just standard,
Yeah, okay.
standing agenda.
Okay,
So
we'll
there's
move
nothing.
ahead to business arising. Candy suppliers, I honestly have been working around the clock. I have not had a chance to research. Has anybody else? No?
Like I said, there are ones that I found the names and some, and looked through their websites and found certain things, but by the time I go back and look at the list, the supplies might have changed.
Yes,
So
okay.
I do have names there,
Oh,
just
send
send
them to-
down what we want.
Okay, if you want to send some to some of those names
It's on the it's on the museum laptop.
Is it? Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Well,
It won't be long.
Okay, all right, very good. I will look. I will get a chance before we open, definitely. Okay, anything else on the candy supplies? Anybody else have any? No? Okay.
Well, is there not food? Like, used to be National Grocers in,
No,
but you can't
No.
get anything like that?
no, the only thing they have is the bulk store and those, I'm not buying those candies.
Yeah, that's not that's retail, that's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, no, there's nothing retail there.
No,
We
no,
found-
but is there nothing that supplies
A
anything
wholesale?
else?
No. We found the two wholesalers we had were out of Toronto. There's lots in China, in the US, and on the BC coast.
Yeah.
But the
Maybe in
shipping, by
Canada
the
for
time it
sure.
gets here, we're looking at quality and freshness also, so.
They did find a few that were sort of wholesale, but they still had kind of retail prices.
Yes, yeah.
Not. That's the other problem.
Mhm. So, we'll just have to take a look at that anyway, when the time comes.
Is there a alarm on somewhere?
It's the water. It's the water system.
Oh, okay. I thought I was losing it.
There's some maintenance to it, so it's-
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else on the candy supplies? Anybody have anything to comment? No? Okay. I think Brenda, we'll move on to new business. Brenda sent everybody the strategic plan questionnaire. So I'm going to go through it line by line. I'll take notes. Everybody's ready, I'm assuming? Okay. So this is to help us guide the future of the museum, where we're heading with it, what do we want to see done in the buildings. So we will start with the museum and the church building. So first question would be, what changes would you like to see at the church building over the next 10 years? Does anybody have anything that they would like to see changed in that church? Brenda?
Well, as we said earlier, replacement of the windows.
Yes.
Replacement of the door even, or refurbishing so it doesn't stick and
Yes.
everything else. And I believe the roof, does the roof not need?
No.
No,
It's
the
in
roof
pretty
is
good shape,
good?
yeah.
Okay.
wasn't done too.
No, it
Okay.
wasn't done that
What
long
were-
ago.
Okay, I
No, it's Harlan's Hut.
Harlan's
We got it
Hut.
totally done.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, that's a whole other issue, but yeah.
The quote came in at 3,200, so it's under what we budgeted, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
What I have is, I think you remember this, Mary, from several years ago. We did have somebody that looked at the logs that said, there might have been a little bit of rot on some of them. And I would like to see within the next 10 years, the logs looked at. And if any work has to be done, I would like to see that taken care of.
So in other words, we better start looking now for somebody who does that.
Yeah, yeah, because we struggled back then to find somebody, you know. So something, it's just like an inspection really is what we want. And then if we knew if the logs, something had to be done with them, we could start putting money away for that now. Because they don't last forever, so they might need some kind of treatment, so that's something, Chris, we would like to look at ASAP about having somebody look at them. Anything else for the church?
I had more sort of like content items. I don't know if that, they're sort of,
No,
rather than building maintenance.
no, that would be an internal thing that we can
Okay.
talk about later.
What about the sidewalks and stuff?
What about the sidewalks? What we did,
Just the paths and stuff need to be more user friendly, I think.
you mean the walkway, the internal, the walking brick? Oh,
Well, I guess the bricks in this part now, but like where you go into the church and stuff, isn't?
oh, the ramp, yes,
The
the
ramp,
ramp has to be replaced, that wooden ramp.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
At the church.
at the
Yes.
church,
We're
yeah.
talking
you know, the
about
little
the
wooden
church.
ramp. that you
Oh,
go
yeah,
up?
the end, that
Yeah,
entrance.
The whole thing
It's
is
scary.
about, yeah,
So that's a priority item.
Actually,
Yes, it
just
is.
part of it, even just
because of
because of the
the, yeah.
disabilities, it's.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Mhm. Anything else for the church? Just out of curiosity, Jillian, what were your ideas inside?
Oh, it was like having exhibit panels and interactives. And I mean, there's small budget items compared to the things you guys were talking about, but I misunderstood your question.
No, all right, well, I mean, that's something you could bring forward. I mean, we can put it on here. You're looking for,
So some exhibit panels, like permanent panels that could go up on the wall. Not all visitors want a guided tour, especially when we have events.
do we have room for that? I didn't think there was any wall space left in there.
They don't need to be big,
Okay.
and we could.
I've seen
Probably.
banners that have stick out sideways.
Oh,
So
yeah.
perpendicular to the
Yes.
wall, so it kind of guides you through
Okay.
that way.
Well, that was.
So they're not
yeah.
on the wall, they're sticking out perpendicular to the
That
wall,
would
and
be
they're so thin,
Yeah,
right?
well, that would work into this. Jillian.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because it would require, something like that especially would require mounting, which
Yeah,
requires hardware and things. And just sort of interactive exhibits, maybe looking into using some of the artifacts that we have, separating some that could be used for demonstration versus ones we want to keep untouched. And a lot.
stuff that you could do. Oh,
Yeah.
I get you. Okay. But the exhibit panels would be something that would be,
Yeah,
okay. Anybody have anything else? No? Okay. Then let's, see. Okay, we're getting to you, Jillian. What programs would you like to see, if any, offered? And please provide ideas on how this would be offered and by whom. Anybody have any ideas? The only one that comes to my mind, and I think Mary and I had gone to when there was a group of museums together, I don't remember what it was called, but we went to Sudbury and it was, I think it was the Capriol Museum, and they had the suitcase program that I thought was fantastic. They had a rolling suitcase and they would go to the schools and even to the nursing homes, the curator would.
And the school's pitch opening will only be for a month. maybe
Yeah,
6
yeah,
weeks.
but they would take that, this rolling thing, the rolling suitcase, and they would have a whole exhibit put in there. They would have like money or old toys, or they bring them out and show them. So that's the the only thing that came to mind for me.
Yes,
And I think, sorry,
um,
go ahead, Marianne.
the guy at the Sudbury did a good one too. I know he was right into that. He got them. And it was just in a big suitcase.
Yes,
And the recipient area could, I mean, you had to work with them.
yeah.
If it was going to another museum that didn't have it or something, you could trade them around
Mhm.
and have an exhibit that would be actually,
Yeah,
you'd be there for, you could leave it there for a month or whatever, and then you
Yeah.
pack it up and move it on.
That's an excellent
Yes,
idea.
it is.
And I think it goes hand in hand with what Jillian was saying about having like an interactive
absolutely.
displays,
Mhm.
because that's totally interactive.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but the traveling bit would be nice for a lot of things here.
Yes.
We have lots of ideas, and some of them would be more sort of school programs where it's the same idea. You take a program to the school rather than busing the kids to the museum. There's lots of different things you could do with that.
Now with the school programs, correct me if I'm wrong, do we not have to book that? Do we not have to get the information to the school?
Yep.
And it takes them about a year to go through, right,
Yeah.
for the following year. So if you want to do something like that, you would have to contact them when you start for the following year.
Like
Yeah,
if you
you
start.
can have the idea, but you have to start, you have to contact them now. Like,
Well-
well, when you start work.
I would say I'd want to have something more concrete to give them. There was one thing that I put together last season, as it was pointed out, gearing it towards high school kids wasn't the best, because it's usually the elementary school that go out.
Yes, yeah.
I also think that when you're dealing with schools, instead of just developing your own program, it's
Yeah.
better to phone them and get their input as to what their needs are. Because if you can address the needs of the curriculum, you're going to get buy-in. But if it's just something out there that doesn't jive with the curriculum, they don't
It's gotta
have
go
the
with the
time
Yes.
to spend on extraneous education these days.
Yeah, that's true.
You almost have to talk to the teachers and see.
You
what-
do, like,
Yeah.
what I would do, Jillian, is you phone the principal, you talk to the principal, just say, listen, I can help you out in your historical piece for the curriculum. And, is there a specific grade, or do you want to, the principal could offer it to the teachers.
Okay.
And then the teacher, she can give your contact information, or you could contact the teachers directly, because then they get exactly what they want.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, I had to go into the school's lots in a previous job, and you've got to do the legwork, and you have to help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise they don't have time.
No, they've got their curriculum and that's what they're going on.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But if you can get something that works into their curriculum somewhere.
They love you.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And then they'll be phoning you up. Yeah.
Anything else other than schools that you would like to see offered in there?
Well, I think as Mary said, with this traveling suitcase, and as
Yes.
you said, like if you can take it even to like East Home,
Yes.
or, a retirement home, and, address that piece too. And it addresses a community, need, or just keeping people minds occupied.
Yes, yeah, no, I like that idea. Traveling suitcase a lot. Anything else?
I mean, think about the senior citizen residences and things like that have a central room that they can get into you could do a presentation or
Yes.
something,
They do, they have the one in East Home. When I was volunteering
But
there.
in the seniors, like a assisted living or something, if you just know somebody that's there, they can rent the room and you could do your thing. Or not rent the room, but book the room.
Yeah, well, they usually they'll have their calendar in there, and they will have different things, what's going on different days, it's sing along, or, they're having a buffet meal or a special meal, or somebody's coming to talk to them about something. So they would slate this on their calendar.
At East Home or most places.
That's right.
At a nursing home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to bring a suitcase full of old toys into the nursing home, they gotta love it.
I know, you think they would,
Yeah.
and bring the candy too. But I know there's like seniors apartments in Powassan, but I don't believe there's a common room associated with
Oh, the new
those.
one there is.
There is at the old one, there is at the
Oh, there
Pines,
is?
there is at the
Yeah.
Pines.
Oh, I didn't know.
I know
that.
there is at the Pines, because I've
Okay,
been
well,
there.
we go.
I've been there for a wedding shower, I've been there.
Oh, they
I've been
party
there
all the
for-
time.
Oh, yeah. there's
Gotta
always
get in
going
with
on.
them.
And the new building that's just being,
It probably
at
has
the
something
south
like
end,
that.
it has a nice room too.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
there's not more than one actually, so I can't remember.
Okay, that's good, so yeah, that's another space, right?
I only see it in prints, in blueprints yet.
Yeah.
And I haven't been over there. I was involved in some of the stuff that they're doing over there, so.
So any other ideas that we've done on that line?
Yeah, we'll think of more.
Okay.
We got lots of time to think.
Do we have any other comments on what we just talked about for the church building and the program?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no,
go ahead.
No, it's
Oh,
for the store,
The
sorry.
one thing we should do is just get out a calendar and find out what days are coming up this year.
Yeah, we're,
Like, it was a year ago today that the girls went in swimming at Powassan in that cold weather. They can't get through the ice today.
oh, I see.
But no, if there's something coming up that's an anniversary of something, especially if it's to do with World War II, World War I, or something like that, that the
To watch for anniversaries.
seniors would like, or something like that, you can think along that line.
That's a
too.
good point, watch for anniversaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll bet you that somebody like Anthony Rhoda's office or something like that, they would have a list of things that were coming up like this summer.
Oh, like
That,
regular events?
but yeah, like what kind of things are you celebrating this summer? And then we could get an idea of what we could do along with it.
Yeah. that's a
Like
good
not
idea.
with them, but at the same time. I'm just thinking of a way to find out easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably though, that might be like, oh,
Yeah, like they just advertised, I think, in Day Today that June 22nd is Armed Forces Day.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
know that already,
Yes,
so that would tie into what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good idea.
What, okay. I'll send you the contact information. I've got them already down for all of these places that we just talked about. Perfect. Thank you. What day is the museum actually planning to open?
We'll get to that. Okay.
Probably not the June 22nd.
Yeah. Okay, do we have any other comments on this stuff? Okay, let's move on then to the candy shop. Remember, we're looking for what we want to see in there at some point, and the office building. So what changes would you like to see at the candy shop office building over the next 10 years? Start with you, Brenda.
Oh, boy.
Get going.
Okay, well, the change I would like to see is not just a candy store, because
No.
I'm thinking big here, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm dreaming. But I know from what I've been told at previous meetings, that Harlan's Hut, I don't know if it's not code or if there's issues with the building.
Oh, that's
itself.
not Harlan's Hut, that's the hardware store.
That's the hardware
Yes.
store, okay,
And we're
sorry.
going to get to that building.
Okay, yes, I know we are, but it took, for me, that ties in with the candy store,
Okay,
because the kitchen needs renovating.
yes.
But are we going to renovate that kitchen? Or are we going to build a new building that would have a new kitchen, a proper wheelchair accessible bathroom, a community room, and displays for equipment? I know,
I
I'm
don't think our
thinking
taxpayers
bigger,
would
you
be
know.
impressed if we spend our money like that.
But then, because then that kitchen space can become storage space, which is much needed for whatever, okay? But I know that's the big plan in my head, but the little plan is renovate the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah, but what do we have to do to the kitchen?
Well,
I'm not saying, no, I'm not saying that we don't need it. I'm asking, what do we have to
Specific?
do to the kitchen?
Okay, the cupboards, there aren't, like, there's that one unit in there beside the fridge. I think things can be rearranged, okay? There's the cupboards at the end that are closets, that are actually space, that could be even counter space, and have more cupboards made up along to where the fridge is, or there needs to
But
be a
real
whole design layout thing in there going on.
The big
So
thing is the
that
layout.
you're utilizing the space properly and efficiently and not haphazardly.
yes, yeah, I agree.
Okay, stop right there for a minute. You didn't answer my question though. What has to be done? Do we need more of anything to satisfy the health unit? Do we need?
Not for the health unit, for efficiently running a kitchen.
Okay, but
For a
that's,
function,
okay.
for functionality.
The first thing you do.
But
these
remember,
days
we're
is-
only gonna use this kitchen 2 times. or 3
Okay,
times a
one
year.
person at a time here. Go ahead, Mary.
The first thing you have to do though is find out what we have to legally do, because as soon as you start changing something in there, you have to bring everything up, quote, up to code.
I know,
Okay.
I do recognize that, but I
So-
think that's part of the issue too, is that it possibly isn't code.
Well, that's what I don't know, what we have to do to bring, do we have to bring anything up?
Our last
No.
inspection.
Was okay?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
All that they're concerned about is the 4 sinks. And we have those. So.
So the sinks are okay?
The sinks are
Oh, okay, I didn't
Okay, so
realize
we
that,
have actually
okay.
done not long ago.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so everything, the plumbing and everything like that,
Yes.
or the number of bathrooms is suffice and all the rest of it.
If we were really going to look at the kitchen reno,
Mhm.
because we can't do anything in the other building. It's a
I-
slab on the ground, it's.
That's why I said we need a
Yeah,
new
there's nothing-
building. I know that.
I don't know, now the septic is behind that building, but I always thought about it in March, putting an addition on the back,
Mhm.
which would increase our storage and our kitchen.
And we had
Yeah.
talked about that.
Yes. So, we could look at that, but rate, I mean, we can put it down there, an
But
addition.
really, for all the
I
times
know,
we use the kitchen, it doesn't,
that's
it
right.
doesn't make sense to spend money to.
No, unless we're going to do
Okay,
something
but
else with.
this is leading to something else.
Yeah, okay.
You
go
know,
ahead.
that if we're promoting the site as an event center, if you want to be renting it out and creating money and dollars, then you have to have the proper facilities for people to use it. And in my opinion, we don't have the proper facilities right now.
No, we don't. And what would we want to rent out though? You can't rent out any of the 3 buildings we got now.
Well, that's the thing, like, we've got that beautiful gazebo, and I thought that was part of the plan, is that the movie sets have been in here. Other people, we have talked about weddings.
But you need parking though too, and there's not a whole lot of parking.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we have to think long-term, that's the whole point of strategic planning. And you have to think of what your wish list is. So if your goal is only 2 years away, yeah, we're not gonna have any of this. But if your goal is 20 years down the road, then maybe we can have this.
The other thing is, if we know what your big ideas are and what your big plans would be if you had the funding, let's say.
Yes,
Exactly.
When those grant opportunities come up,
exactly.
we have a starting point.
Thank
If
you.
we don't
Yeah.
know,
Yes,
if we don't know that those things are what you want.
Yeah.
Then we're not going to, those grants aren't gonna catch our eye because we get lists of them. So
Yeah.
if I know what I'm looking for and I can put it to a project, totally different. And if we've got it in a document such as a strategic plan, that's the whole point of this, is so we can put those ideas down, because we got turned down for 2 grants last year because they were quick.
Exactly.
And we made the project up when we found out about the funding rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
So this way we prove that we have a case and it's a better starting point.
Yeah, and thank you, because that's exactly where I'm going. And I do know at our last meeting, Chris made the comment about possibly having a staff person around longer, so then we're looking at heating and all of that. Well, with the existing building and the way it is, like, you're not gonna get heating in there. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, if we want to go that route, and that's the route the board wants to see happening in 15, 20 years, then you have to think outside the box and think, you need insulation if you want to heat a place.
You'll need a well.
Okay, so-
You'll need a well because you can't, right now, we run the water line through one of our culverts and it won't,
Oh,
you cannot
okay.
do that. That's
So
why.
it's a lot.
Yeah, you can't open it.
Yeah, so it's just, I just think we need to be thinking outside the box a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay, if you're talking water and sewage over there by itself, like, there's something like $30,000 now for a sewage system.
See, I wasn't thinking that, I'll be honest, until right now, Mary.
Yeah. But yeah,
Something is a whole other
to
issue.
put a sewage
Yeah.
system in a house is like $30,000.
Yeah, I do know that.
Okay, so, and I don't know what the well,
All depends on how long it
Yeah.
takes them to get water.
so, but you're talking about down the road, that building that is not legal,
Mhm.
why would we waste time with anything? Why would we not, in the long run, take it down
Yeah.
and put up a proper building
That's what I just said,
that in that spot
exactly what I just said.
yeah, that's
Mary.
what she's talking about.
that
Yeah.
would not
Oh, I thought you
take
were
up
talking
all
about
the
the
room.
candy store.
No, she's talking about.
No, I
Candy
was
Store as it
saying-
is.
Yeah,
No, I thought you were talking about the candy store.
well, at first, I was
It's okay.
I said about a new building and you all went like this. So I said, well, the other plan is to renovate the kitchen if you don't want to go with a new building.
Yeah.
So it's just thoughts, okay? These are just ideas. It's
Well-
not,
You could plan a building that was meant for the what we want it for, not what was built over there. And take that one down and just replace it.
well, that's what we actually had proposed, as Liz said earlier, last year. But, we had those community funds and it wasn't enough and, there wasn't enough planning time to just put up a building. And so that's why if we want to go down that route, because last year at this time, that's what we wanted to do. We need to be, this is the opportunity as I see it, to be looking at that.
Yeah.
Because we looked at it a year ago and we gave it the rubber stamp.
Yeah.
So the process would be,
Mhm.
from my point of view, from the office, is we can look for funding that would help us with engineer drawings.
Perfect.
And indeed, you need to do a plan for the whole property before anything gets done.
Yeah, that's why we're doing
Yes,
a strategic
yeah.
plan. and then we'll look at-
Yes, because
Yes. And I believe last year, because I know when I made up the presentation, we had looked at, as you had said, a piece going out the back, so it was an L-shaped building, and that would replace the illegal building or whatever it is.
Well, I think that
The tool
the
set.
Yeah.
hardware
Thank
store
you.
was
Hardware
originally-
store.
Yeah, it was originally put up there, I believe, Mary, you were on the board back then, but that was put up to, work on artifacts and stuff, was it
Yes.
not? They had such an overflow of, donations that that's what it is today.
Yeah.
So that's how it got to be.
That's how it started.
and it got to be slightly illegal because people wouldn't wait for the government to wait for the time for plans to go through and apply for grants and wait for the grants to come up and apply for them, except they just had to have it yesterday.
So that was
So they just up and did it.
basically a big shed is what it was.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's where you come full circle in that then now is the opportunity to
Yeah.
plan for what you should have had.
Yes. So it'd
Many
be
years
nice to have-
ago.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a brand new kitchen and then a room that you could have a function in or put on a display or do.
Even just to have a room to be able to do a display.
That's right.
and that.
And then if you have a functional kind of community room, I think that's where I got thinking, well, we had talked about events. We know people have come and wanted to rent
Yeah.
the property. And, you know, then we can have set criteria for the fees and blah, 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 blah. So it's all
And a contract.
exactly laid out properly. Yeah, anyways, I've talked enough.
No,
Somebody else's turn.
Well, if we are gonna include a big sort of amalgamated building, should we maybe be more specific in the strategic plans, maybe our big dream, should we be more specific about what else needs to be in there, like how many washrooms and like how big we want each space? Do we?
That would be part of the engineer drawing.
Yes,
It
it
would
would
be
be
that. That would, the strategic plan just simply says
This is
what we
our
want to do.
dream.
And
And this is what we want. And we wouldn't know
And they're
how big
getting-
the building could be because of we have to look at the property.
We need to
Okay,
get a
okay.
survey.
For starters, before we do anything.
Yeah.
And there again, it all depends on the grants and as long as it's not gonna cost a whole lot of money.
Because
for the taxpayers.
technically, the only building we have to keep is the church.
That's correct. yeah.
Mhm.
No, it's not. Whoever's working there needs a washroom.
Oh, no, 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 no.
No, I think she means if you're rebuilding.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're-
yes,
if
The only
you're
historical
replan-
building
Yes,
is.
yes.
Yeah, if
That's
you're
right, yeah.
replanning the whole property,
Yeah,
the only thing we can't take down is the church.
that's correct, yes.
Because
Everything else you kind of-
our-
If we just set that up.
Yeah,
Our office building now is, do we really want to keep that? I mean, is there any reason why we could not get rid of it if
and have one huge.
Have one big
there
building.
was a choice?
Yeah.
I would say a huge, like one big amalgamated.
I would
building
prefer one
definitely
building too.
Yeah.
be- Even for
Especially-
staff.
Especially with the cost of the foundation.
Yes,
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
where you're.
So those are, that's why we write all these things down.
Yeah, yeah.
You have all the factors to play against each other.
Yeah, if there was money to take all of that down, I'd say take it all down. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
know.
makes
Start
sense,
all
it makes
over
sense to
again.
take a full rent.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of little buildings on there. It's manpower, it's upkeep, it's roofs, it's everything, so. Yeah, it'd be nice to have it all contained in one.
Or we could just put the church inside a big building.
Yeah.
No,
We could, but I don't think so.
They
No,
do
I think the
that
church
in Washington
needs to be
Museum.
The train that Bonnie, the artist, they put her whole little house in a museum now. so.
and I've seen it where they connect like a historic house to a new office, but
Yeah.
it does detract from
No,
the historical.
if you
beauty
go
of
to
the building.
Saskatchewan, they have a whole town inside a big building.
Why?
Why?
I mean, I know you can protect it from weather, but why?
Because you don't want it out in the open affair. Because it protects it.
I know it protects it.
But it's got streets, it's got lights, it's got all the old buildings brought in, but they're in a big building. There's one at, outside of Regina, there's one in Saskatoon, and there's one further west than that, but I can't remember the name of that.
I think there's also
Isn't there
place
one-
in
something-
Peterborough,
there's something
there
in
was a
Calgary
rock face,
that's
so
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was paintings or carvings. And they basically built a building around it and in order to protect it, but it changed how it aged and the people who were descended from the people who had originally done it were upset about it.
No, I can't see us putting a big building like that here.
Not in the front in our little corner.
No. So how do we address this, Chris? If we still need things that need done in the kitchen part now, will we start with that? We would also mention this in here. So,
Okay, this is the big picture that I'm.
yes, you're,
I'm
okay,
making notes here as
Okay.
you're talking, so that would be
The big
further
picture.
down on the
Yes.
10-year list.
So temporary in that kitchen.
Got it out the coverage and put
Okay,
a new format.
If you're going to put
Yeah.
any other cupboards in there, like up on the walls, let's not have them the full depth of a set of kitchen cupboards now,
no,
because it'll take up too much room. Like you only need them yay big, to get the width of a dinner plate sitting down on it type of thing.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
smart.
you don't
Rather than a
need
great
what
big wide.
you don't need what you have at home.
Yeah,
No,
because
okay.
you don't have, and then there'd be more room.
yes,
And that would give us a lot
Work.
more.
yeah, because then that cupboard could come on.
And that big cupboard takes up so much room. It doesn't have a lot of room in it.
No,
I think
And
that
that-
big
and
cupboard is an
actually that-
artifact though. think it has an artifact number on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, we're gonna decommission it. It'll be decommissioned because it is not an antique by any means, so
Okay.
we could put it up in the
Well,
sidewalk.
it is old, but
Yeah, or we could sell it on marketplace. After it's decommissioned.
all depends. We'll have to find out where it is.
Yeah, we have to
From
get the
first,
history on it.
before we make that decision.
No, but I'm just thinking that like where the fridge is and everything, if you can build things into that and put like what,
The fridge needs to go back in the corner.
if the wall space is there, just don't take the whole thing, the depth, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, I know
So-
exactly what you're saying now.
And that end thing, that closet, can we not take it out?
I'd like
Back
to see
in
the
there.
fridge back there,
Put the fridge
That's
back in
what I
there.
And then we
Back
have
into
the
road
counter
to make a
along-
problem.
where the fridge and the cupboard are now, that could all be counter.
Would it fit in there now?
I don't know, we have to measure.
We can make it.
I don't think
I'm
that's the
sure they
same
can make
fridge.
it fit.
No,
Is
it's
it?
not the same.
Oh, maybe
It's
not
a
the
new
bathrooms
fridge,
on
but it
either
doesn't
side,
mean
right?
it wouldn't fit in there, we'd have to measure it.
Chris, could that just be under
Yeah.
the umbrella of renovation?
No, we'd have to take,
You'd have to take out.
we'd have to
all-
open up the closet,
Yeah.
because I think the water tank is on
For
the other
my
end, right,
purposes,
so.
for strategic plan purposes.
Exactly.
It would be,
Well, I haven't seen where
His
the
renovation.
water tank is at all.
Yeah, I don't know either.
and then
That's what I
plan
assumed.
support,
Yeah, that's something
Yeah,
else
I
you gotta
would
figure out too.
the
That
grant
is
to bring it
always
back and say,
Down
no,
to the bathroom, eh?
Mhm, yeah.
As far as the water and everything
Yeah,
goes.
yeah. So the other things I see in there is that the windows need to be replaced. And the sinks are pretty shoddy looking. They're stained, they can't be cleaned. They just-
And we did try.
Yeah, I know, we tried.
Half a day doing
Yeah,
that.
they're
They are
very, very
disgusting.
old. And beat up looking, they don't look clean, there's no shine left, they're stained.
And if
They're
they have
functional.
water left,
They're
we'll leave
functional
them
though,
for
it's
too long,
not, it's
they
not
will
like we
leave.
used,
No, but I mean, if we're.
it's not like we're using it.
No, but we're just looking at strategic plan.
No,
So
but we
the
are,
flooring, the windows and the sinks, definitely.
and we are doing, we didn't do Pi Day last year. So we weren't washing a whole bunch of dishes. It was all paper plates for Heritage Day. If we actually leave too much water in the sink for too long a period, it does start to leak.
It
That's
starts
an
to
easy
drain
fix,
out.
so that's
You mean
not.
it's leaking or it's draining?
Is it the water just going down the pipes or is it going out on the floor underneath?
A small amount and ended up on the shelves. So we just didn't leave it
Oh.
full.
Oh,
But that's
so
an
there
easy
is a
fix, that's
leak
not-
somewhere.
that's-
Yeah, a plumbing thing.
Yeah.
30, 75 bucks later, probably at the most, it would take them an hour to fix the leak. in the
But
rig.
even the sinks, I'm wondering, because we have to use Javex as per public health protocols,
Yeah.
could that be doing a number on sinks?
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I think. So I'm thinking no matter what we get in here, probably won't last. But I mean, I know if you were gonna renovate it, you might as well,
Yeah.
if there's the money, do it right.
Okay. Any more, anything else with the candy shop and the kitchen? Anything else you want to see in the storage room? There's really not much we can do with that. Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh,
It'd be nice to have a larger storage.
Oh, yeah, shelves, everything in a row, all sorted, yeah.
And 4 times that size.
Someday.
But, you know, like, I think that should actually be part of the strategic plan.
Yes.
In that if we had proper shelving, maybe we could store things in a more efficient manner and get more in there. I don't know. What
If
do you
we
think,
had
Julie?
another building, we could have them.
And we don't-
very
Oh, I agree with
efficient.
that. Like, I totally agree with that. But I'm just thinking.
I don't know if we could
short
get
term.
more shelving in there, Brenda.
Yeah, okay.
It's, you saw it, we've been in there.
Yeah, I know. I
It's
just
in there.
wasn't sure if it could be arranged and wrapped around, if it was actually built to
Yeah.
measure.
I think the biggest thing would be to go, and this will take, this will be costly in terms of the staff time, but going through everything and deaccessioning things that aren't relevant to Nipissing, and that will actually free up hopefully some space.
Yeah.
And then things can be organized properly, and we can take a look at, well, what remains, what needs specific kind of housing, and what is okay as is, and then we'll have a better idea of what is actually needed in terms of storage If, say, we were to alter the storage arrangements or to create a bigger building. So that would,
I think that's part of being efficient, you
Yes,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Any other comments on the candy shop or the office? If not, we will move on to building and grounds. Okay. What would you like to see at the buildings and grounds over the next 10 years? Well, obviously, a new building.
Obviously, any building, a new
Yeah, we
building.
have that.
Yes.
but
A new roof.
if the building, and this might be more sort of a quick temporary thing, in the hardware store, I don't know how easy it'd be to obtain like pallets or something like that, so we could get some of the artifacts off the floor.
Oh, that's no problem.
Yeah,
that's
you
no
can
problem.
just find pallets.
Oh,
Usually.
yes, there's-
Some tools to cut them down so that they're, and reshape them so that they're not, because if we just put them on the floor, we won't have any much walking space. We'll probably need to puzzle them, or cut them down to size.
Would patio stones work?
Pardon?
Would patio stones work?
No,
No, they wouldn't be, they'd still have draw moisture.
that draw moisture off that floor. Like if
Well,
it's cement with stone on top, it just draws the moisture up.
I'd be afraid of the pallets.
The wood would do the same. though.
Yeah,
but they're-
But if
Pallets are,
pellets have a gap.
So
yeah, they have
Yeah,
airspace.
yeah, so the air can get under it.
They're slats on top, slats on the bottom, and they got in betweens, like they're this big, you know what I mean?
At least, I know the one I have for this, my
Yeah.
hand's gotta be at least that high.
And yes, you can get them if you know people that don't have to return them.
But I don't know the people, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
We
quite
can,
a
fi- we
few
can
around.
find you some
Yeah.
pallets.
I heard
Pallets.
her.
Yeah,
Perfect.
okay. All right, so pallets, get some of the stuff off the floor. Anything else?
I don't think it really matters as long as there's some air gap. And it's not.
Because the pallets, the ordinary everyday pallets that have, like I said, slats on top, slats on the bottom, we could even take the bottom slats off and just set them on the,
Oh, that's
So
a
yeah,
smart
right.
idea.
Exposure to the
moisture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I can move those slats to the top to create more of a.
yeah,
very
whatever.
smart.
Yes, there are places that don't take pallets back, so we can get rid of them.
Anything else on that?
Same deal as the storage and the store all irrelevant artifacts. Take the saws off the ceiling.
Just rearrange it so it's in groups of what it pertains to. And
That would be nice. Well, it's already done like that. It's just, there's a lot of extra stuff and.
Talking about double.
And there's lots of, yeah, it's doubling up.
Yeah,
And the other thing, again, which I don't know how many artifacts have this, but there's sticky labels on some of them. I would like to see those come off.
I thought they were all, it's not.
Pardon?
I thought they were slowly coming off.
Well, some of them are drying out and coming off, but they're leaving residue, so it might be nice to, if we had some more, like I have some tools that I can bring in, but I'd like to look into some solvents to get the rest of it off. But again, that would be like kind of extra if we have time kind of project.
Anything else? What about anything with with the gazebo?
I think you mentioned you guys budgeted for the lights.
Yeah, I'm fighting for some lights and flowers.
Was there any At one point, I remember someone mentioning the possibility of putting the electricity in at the gazebo.
Yes, we budgeted for that too.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if that had,
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
We need proper seating in there at
Yeah.
some point. I don't know what kind, but we need what we have is not sufficient.
Basically benches, I think, around each.
Yeah, I think that's what we originally
Yeah.
talked about, yes, yeah.
Yeah, but they need to be attached.
Can we change it or not attach them? Because if you do have someone who wants to hold
Yeah.
like a wedding or something there, they might want more
Flexibility.
or they might want to take
Might be okay, but
furniture
you might have
out.
to replace them if you don't attach them.
Well, I,
Has anything ever gone walking?
no. we
Is
left
any-
chairs out.
is anything not,
Anything there?
is anything out there not attached?
Yes, there's a really nice metal bench, and then there's the long wooden bench,
But you mean it's there now?
unless it's gone.
Oh, no, no, no.
It's gone now. We put some of it into the hardware store.
No, we've never had that. We've left the chairs out, we leave chairs out all summer. On the
Yeah.
deck, do we not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't bring those in.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't want to put
If you put something
money
really nice,
into it and then they disappear.
Right.
But at the same time, I understand you want to have flexibility. It might
Yeah.
be difficult for them somehow.
I think the wooden benches make sense, because they're kind of, the one that's there is a little bit too long for the side, but they'd be kind of awkward to steal. They fit nicely, like if we got them the proper length, they would fit nicely around the
Yeah, one
side.
for each.
Yeah.
Side, yeah.
Room in the
But
middle.
that's what we
if you wanna
originally
play.
discussed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we need to look at that.
They just need to be very solid.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the only other issue would be climbing, if there was a small child climbing. And
And then falling over, yeah.
that's liability side.
Yeah, all waste management stuff.
Anything else in the gazebo? Okay, what about Harlan's hut?
Scrap it.
Second that.
Well, we do need a place to store all of
Yeah.
that. So,
At the moment, we can't.
yeah, and that's just, stuff is just fitting in there, my correction, yeah.
The tables, yeah, because of the way they fit in, you have to take them all out to kind of get to anything anywhere else in the building, and it definitely was a big problem for critters,
Yeah,
because it was difficult to access, right? It was hard to clean up.
well, I'm going to suggest right now, new lightweight tables.
Get that.
Those tables must weigh 50 pounds each,
Yeah,
maybe
they're
more,
hard.
yeah, so new tables for sure.
On the other hand, though, when it's a windy day, if they put,
No. So you're saying we need the weight?
I don't know.
I'm not talking about plastic ones. Now they are talking about replacing some of these, and I don't know, I think they're a bit lighter than the ones we have, I'm
No.
not sure. I don't know.
I can't
These are
lift one
pretty
of those
low.
things.
No, you can't, lift- no, not by yourself, no,
That's what I'm-
yeah. Well, even these, if you put them together.
I don't think that they don't store very well.
No, okay, well,
Was Harlan's hut where you were having trouble with the electricity?
no, that is the,
No, that's a hardware. store.
Yeah, that's a hardware,
Oh, I
yes.
forgot
Okay, so
about
that's
that.
in the budget to be looked at.
yes, to look
in
at
your-
this here.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And just so you know, Jillian, behind that altar in the church,
Yeah.
we have the big lights that were used for display. I don't know if you look under there.
Yes.
They're
That's
stored
where
under
the
there,
50
so
dolls are.
if we are going to replace lighting in Harlan's hut, you may want to take a look at those.
It looks to work.
Yeah, oh, they did, they worked fine in the church.
Okay,
They're a good lighting system.
okay.
So I don't know if the problem in the
remember?
church is the internal wiring or if it's the lighting itself. If it is the lighting, have them look at
Do you
that.
remember how, I remember them being on a string. Do you remember how they were mounted?
The ones in the church,
Yeah. Are they
we
clamps?
mounted them on the pipes.
Yeah, they were.
They were wrapped around the pipes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, that's how they were mounted.
okay.
Anything else in either of those buildings? We know, we looked at the roof, you said you've already got a quote, Chris.
What, for Harlan's?
Yeah, the roof's done.
Yeah.
Shingles are done.
Well, you can do like some of the farmers do around here, just put a tarp over it for 20 years. Why not?
Oh, my God.
Earwigs, that's why.
Yeah, we had an earwig problem. I think it was just a bad year for them last year.
It was,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, everybody had them. Okay. So if we're going to move, any more discussion on any of the buildings? We can cover everything. Chris, you got anything to add?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
So better wait a month.
What is the last question here? Did we cover it all? Any comments, suggestions, or ideas regarding the status of building conditions, upgrades, repairs? Okay, and I think we've covered everything. I really do.
It just explains our grant.
Yes,
How we look at
exactly.
grants. And
What
this helps guide us, because if we don't know, we don't know to look.
Exactly.
That's
What we need done over there. Okay, so we're done with our strategic planning. Summer students, so neither of the girls will be coming back this year. So Chris has already advertised it in the newsletter, and did you,
It's going on the job bank.
on the job bank?
It's on the list of things.
Okay,
For 2.
for 2, yes.
I have a question.
So we will move on.
I was wondering, since we're hiring different people, if they are not hired, would they start at the same, like, would they still start sort of end of June? Or if we were to hire university students, would the board want to start? a
I
little
think
early?
you budgeted for the end of May, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Oh,
they're
okay.
budgeted for the end of May.
Okay,
And if they're high school students, it means weekends only, so,
yeah,
because they're still in school, okay?
Yep.
So, so the next one would be the managerial priority. So we do need to give Jillian an opening date. We know when she'll be in there working, but when do we actually want to open the museum? Because she's gonna have a lot of prepping to do.
And I'm assuming when you start, you're gonna do Monday to Friday.
or
Yeah.
whatever is more convenient. for
Whatever
you.
works for you to put your hours in until we actually open is fine with the board, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We just don't want you working over there alone.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Monday to Friday. is
yeah,
best.
that would be, yeah, that would work.
Because
What
they're
is-
here, they're here to back you up at the
Yes,
town office.
yes, I got you.
They gotta look after you.
Yeah.
Just,
Nothing's ever happened, but it's nice to know.
Are
yeah,
you starting on the second? Are you starting on the second, Jill?
Yeah.
okay, that's what I was gonna ask. You're
Okay.
starting, she's starting on the 2nd?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So now she's got to get all the buildings prepped, and she's got to get the order of the candies in, so, how long, Jillian, do you think it'll take you to, get the buildings ready?
A week and a half,
Okay,
depending on how dirty they are. I don't know, because they were only shut up for one.
yeah, this won't be like the last time, yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, Jillian, the last time we had all the sheets and the covers
Oh, that's
washed,
true,
because it had been sitting there.
but also all the furniture was in the wrong place, but it's all.
Yeah, that's right. So
Yeah, probably just a
you
week.
don't need to wash those sheets. If you want to put them out on the gazebo, air them out or something, but they don't have to be washed again this year. So if you start on the 2nd, done that by the 11th. You've got to order the candy, it's got to come in, you've got to prep it all. Do we want to open for the long weekend in May? Is that what we want to look at?
Probably makes sense.
Which is the 23rd, which is the Monday, so
I mean, for the full week? Or just weekends or what?
no, for the starting her opening the
To
museum.
have the museum open
Open,
full-time?
yes.
So beginning the Friday or the Saturday of the meal.
Yeah, Friday would make sense. But you'd be in there probably Friday by yourself unless we have university students.
That's okay, I did that last summer.
Yeah,
It was
You
fine.
have them in on the
People kept
weekend?
moving during
Okay.
lunch.
So do we want to talk about then Friday, the 20th? Opening day? Okay, so we've got that straightened out. But now that we've got an opening day and Jillian has a rough idea as to how long it'll take her to get everything ready, we need to give Jillian a list of what the priorities for when she starts to get the building ready, what needs to be done. So obviously 3 buildings have to be done right away. And I know you'll want to get at the gardening. If you want Steve to come and do his thing, you know, you can call him while you're getting that ready, but the museum is the priority, not the garden, okay? At least that's what I feel. Okay. And number 2, our big fundraiser is the candy and the yogurt. So we have to have that stocked. So the ordering has to be done. And the packaging of it has to be done. I'll come over and help you with the pricing again too, and give you a refresher course on that. The yogurt, I usually pick that up, and the cold drinks, I don't mind doing that again. So, and then at that point, when you're in there, you just make an ongoing list of what you're going to need. If I think we're still good with supplies, but if we're not, I need to know that right away so that we have the packaging and everything ready.
I think one thing I can think of offhand is the hand sanitizer that we had. I boxed it up and gave it back to the township office because I wasn't sure what happened if it froze.
Yeah, those kind of supplies, you can just go to the office and get. Yes, that's it. But the other, the stuff for the candy, like the bags, the yogurt containers, the spoons,
Boxes.
I think we do too, but we want to make sure the brown paper gift bags, we want to see how many of those we have. We might want to look at getting some new, so we have changed the hours of the museum, maybe some new museum cards, the candy store cards. We could look at doing those. I think we ordered them through Vista or somewhere last time, yeah. Yeah.
What I'd like to suggest, Joanne, is before you start, spend at least 4 hours with me at the office. There's a whole lot of stuff that we can go through to make your life easier.
Thank you. Good. Are we, anybody have any particular cold drink that they want? I know we've had the pop shop, we've had a hard time getting a supplier in there. So last year we just sold like ginger ale water, lemonade, that kind of stuff. Are we still good with that?
Did it sell?
Most of it sold on Heritage Day. The one that was the most popular, I remember rightly, was actually the diet pop.
Oh,
Or is it the diet? It was actually diet
lemonade?
lemonade
Yeah.
pop.
Because the
Yeah.
lemonade in the past has been a big seller of those cans, so, okay,
Yeah, we just had the pop.
yeah.
Isn't it? I wonder if, this is just off the top of my head,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we need to do this, but I know, especially with my children, who are in their 30s, their big thing is that bubbles stuff.
Bubbly.
Yeah, bubbly, bubbles.
Oh,
Yeah, they're really into that because it's diet, like, well, there's no calories, but it's not, you're not drinking diet pop and all that, those chemicals,
Is it
right?
sweet?
No, it's
No,
just pop soda and a
Yeah.
flavor, that's it.
yeah.
So
that's
there's
okay.
mango, there's lemon lime, there's cherry, there's
I'll
orange,
get a couple of cases.
there's
We can
grapefruit.
try it.
I don't know if
Yeah,
it
they
will
come
sell.
in cases of 12. We can try it.
Does the singer come along with it?
It would be great. wouldn't it? I like the way you think. You never know.
I'm telling all on you. Okay, any other ideas for cold drinks?
That pop shop stuff, what's the problem? Is it the dealer here or what?
We couldn't find a dealer. The
Okay.
last time I ended up getting it from the guy that has the meat store in Restool. And he was picking it up himself down in the Berry area or somewhere.
and
So
sold it.
he sold it.
And every harbor, the guy has to go pick it up and bury it.
That's right, yeah.
Okay,
So that's,
because I was in a place that sold it this past week, and I
Yeah.
can't remember where it was now, but I can think about where I was.
we were out in Sturgeon too, and we saw it at one of the stores and we waited for the manager and she said he'd be back anytime. He never did come back. And they were selling it for like $1.25. We couldn't buy it for that price.
Oh.
Yeah, so,
But I know it because I was surprised to see that that brand was in a store. I just got to go back now and see where it was.
I don't know if we had, instead of just pop, if we also had like regular lemonade, not like the pop lemonade with the orange juice in cans. Because the pop was humongously popular except on the event days.
yeah, well, we'll keep a couple of cases of pop, just to have it.
Oh, yeah.
But what do you mean, like regular lemonade, like?
Like in
Well,
a can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
something we got
Like,
had was.
And what
pop or
about
lemonade.
something like,
Oh,
Was it
I
not?
bought you pop. No, I bought you I usually get the PC lemonade in the can.
I thought that was pop.
No,
No,
it's
that's
good,
not-
it's a good lemonade.
No.
Yeah.
and what
That's
about
pretty
something like
But I think
tea, like iced tea or
Yeah.
whatever?
The iced tea too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
did we got iced tea?
we had iced
I
tea.
remember buying some.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
had some for the, we had two different kinds at one point. We had a different kind that we were selling and a different
Wrist tea?
kind that was sold at the Heritage Day. I can't remember which one
Yes,
actually
I
sold better.
remember, we had I think we had the Nestle iced tea.
Yeah,
So I'll get like samples of 12s.
Yeah.
And I'll get a
Yeah.
few cases and let me know how it works, and then I can just replenish it.
Yeah, it's nice to try it,
Yes,
see.
yeah, something different. Because you're right, the corner stores have the Coke and the ginger ale. We can have some of, maybe 12 of each of those, but a dark and a light pop, and then we'll try the stuff with it.
well, I think too, sometimes if people come in and they're getting a bunch of candy, they don't then want pop, they want
Yes,
something
something
that's.
different. Good idea.
Yeah.
Did the water sell last year? I'll just get a case this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I'll just pick up a case, one case. And I'll pick up the yogurt, and I'll just get as many different flavors as we can. What was the most popular last year?
blackjack cherry,
Yeah,
and cappuccino.
cappuccino's a hard one to get.
The peanut butter one as well.
Yeah, that was the other hard one to get.
Yeah, the peanut butter ones have, yeah.
Okay, if it's gonna open on May 20th, what are the days and what are the hours?
Or same as last year, Wednesday to Sunday. And what is it? Is it,
It was 10 to 4:30.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna update the website with this information.
yes,
Yeah,
Right.
I'll
thank you.
update a few things too, so.
Yeah. Oh, your newspaper article. Thank you. Mary.
Just a quick question.
Yeah,
So if, for example, we didn't have any students by May 20th, would,
we'll have them,
we will?
right, Chris?
I can advertise.
We've never had them. We sometimes
Yeah,
have to
but
advertise a
You've
couple
got
of times. in a
school
row.
though. If they're high school kids, you're not gonna have them.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if there are people who are willing to volunteer, or if that's another high priority thing I need to do when I get in there.
So
for my
Wednesday to
volunteers.
Sunday, all you need, well, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you need somebody that isn't a student.
well,
Well, I think
think
if
they'll
we
know.
wait till the next meeting in May,
Yes.
we'll have maybe a better idea.
yeah,
And then if there isn't anybody, then, you know,
Then
we
we'll
start
help.
here,
Yeah.
And I guess you
right?
can hear
We
along.
can help you
We'll
out.
come to your rescue.
Yeah.
well, we had high school students last year and they started, weekends, did they not?
No, they didn't. They started June 26th.
I'm not sure. Oh, really? That late?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, because
So
there was
we
a
were still finishing
lockdown.
up COVID.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
We opened late. Yes.
It's a lot different this year.
Okay. Are we able to advertise for the students at the university?
That's on our list. We
Okay.
will. We're short-staffed again this week, so it's on the list.
Okay, good. All right. Well, let's just keep our fingers crossed and hopefully somebody.
Just in case.
And if not, we do have a volunteer list over there, do we not?
Yes, we do. Well, that's what I was wondering. Should I start contacting people just
Um,
at some point, or wait, but
Not
not
yet.
until
let's
next
wait,
week?
Yeah.
let's
Not
wait
yet,
until May,
because
yes.
They won't know what they're doing then.
No,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Checks.
So, you and I, if you want, that first week you're in there, I know you'll be getting things ready, but if you want, we can work on the candy order.
Yes, I think that would be a good idea, because
Okay.
it will take several days to arrive, and I don't have to box it
That's right.
immediately.
And then they have to transport it from the office, that's where it gets delivered over to there, so, so we will work on that. And
Actually, if you're in there Monday to Friday when you order it, we'll have it delivered directly to you,
Perfect.
because you're there.
Yeah.
So it would just save everything.
I don't.
Just make sure they don't leave it on the porch and nobody's there, Chris.
We'll special.
Okay. Okay, so, yeah, we'll do that in that first week when you're in there. Perfect, good. Actually, if you got your office ready first, Jillian, sure, then it's nice and clean, and if it comes in, while you're working on the other buildings, I can be in there helping with the candy. Anybody else that wants to help? Usually a few leftover candies laying around.
There's the draw.
You can call.
Can we get some food?
Yeah. All right.
When is that list
Yeah, I'd be doing it with Linda, and all of a sudden her cheeks would be this size, with all black licorice candy, and I'd say, what's in your mouth? Yeah, I remember those days, okay. Okay, so I think we've got the, you know what we're expecting.
Yep.
We want it to be fully all ready within a week and a half, and we'll have the candy ordered. And then we work on that, okay. Next are summer activities, Pi Day, Heritage Day, etc. What do we want to plan for this year? Because,
How long are you staying until, Jillian? Just refresh my memory.
October 9th.
Yeah, because we've always said about doing something in the
In the fall,
fall, but
yeah.
we've never planned for it.
Yeah.
So I just thought if you're gonna be here till
Mhm.
October 9th, I
Yeah.
think we could actually do it.
Yeah, we could. I would like to see, this is just my, and I don't know how it would work, but when everybody's cleaning up their gardens and they've got all that excess veggies and the produce, why couldn't we have a little farmer's market on one of the weekends? We would have to invite, start inviting people in the summer, putting the word out that we're gonna have it on this weekend. People could come and set up, and it's just a kind of a draw. We don't have to charge them for tables or anything, but,
I
something
think
to
that's
think
a
about.
really good idea.
Yeah,
And
Or
then
if we do like a potluck thing. I don't know.
public health. will just-
Public
I
health
know what you're thinking.
I would be just afraid to plan something because things can still change so quickly.
Okay.
So, good idea. Maybe
Not next year.
Next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be a next year plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get back into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as board members, you could always come into my gazebo and bring your.
Good idea.
Yeah,
And you could even have wine then.
after the farmer's market.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one of my ideas anyway for the fall. What about Pi Day? It's always been a success.
I'm in for 5 days.
Yeah,
I think it's
the
a
same
good-
kind of issue with the potluck though.
no,
They were all made by.
no, we've never had any problems with the health unit with that. Okay, would that change this year, Chris?
I have no idea.
We'd have to find out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
So-
something we should find out.
yeah, because we want to put the requisition into the health
I
department.
have
right
them
away.
in my to-go file for this month. I just need you to give me the details.
Okay, so
If there just hypothetically, if there was a problem with having people from the community bringing pies, could we still make them ourselves using this kitchen?
yes,
Mhm. The thing with the potluck is
Yeah.
that you're heating things.
yes.
And that
Oh,
means there's
okay.
more possibility that something's gonna grow
Yeah.
and you're gonna get sick.
Where with the pie, we're actually doing it in the
Yeah.
kitchen and
The only
bringing it
thing-
up and
yeah.
it's all
You
refrigerated.
Yeah.
really have to worry about with pies is maybe a custard pie. And that doesn't, we don't get very many of
No.
those.
And if the board is gonna be working on making them here in the kitchen, volunteers, making it here, you could specify
Yeah,
no
no,
custard.
Yeah.
exactly.
And last time we actually kept a list of where the pies came from.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was
As long
the
as
first,
you
that was the first we did that.
Yeah, as long as you have the records and you've done them in the
Yes.
kitchen and you set the parameters on what pies would be acceptable, the
Yeah.
safer pies to go
Yeah.
with, I don't see that being an issue.
We just say we can't accept custard pies, but would you like to bake pies for us?
Mhm.
So what day, do we usually have that in July?
Yeah, I think it was July 14th, 29th, is that 2019 or 2018?
So
July 14th.
It's on a Sunday, right? It'd be the 17th?
So Sunday, July 17th.
Yes, Pi Day. If you want me to fill those forms out, Chris, just remind me, and I'll come into the office.
I'll let you know as soon as I have them.
Or you can, I could just print them off, actually.
Yeah, because I can just start them.
Okay.
And then send them, email them to you.
Yeah, okay, great. So that's a Pi Day. And what time would we have that? What do we usually have? Start at 11, do we not? Do we get the church people?
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
it was
sort of
11 to
that,
3.
whatever church is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the church
Just
people know.
10:30, 11, yeah.
So we'll go 11. No, we can even do 10:30 if you want it out. No.
Yeah.
Okay, 11 to 2.
10:30 to 2 p.m.
Is that what we had on there?
That's flyer.
Okay.
Okay, well, the only difference I can see is we don't have a church here.
But they still have church every
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah.
We're
No,
still
no,
having
he's-
church
he's-
this
he's
year.
Well, almost every Sunday.
Yeah.
Allowing them to use it for 2
We
years.
still have church.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right,
We
it's on
still
there.
have services.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still have
Oh, I didn't know
services every
that.
Sunday. Yeah,
Yeah.
What was that, July the 7th?
I thought we were gonna have to get a little longer to get here, like from up at the corner or.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Uh,
Not next year, the year after, yes.
Okay, so we'll have Pi Day, July the 7th.
July 17th.
17th, sorry.
17th, okay.
From 10:30 to 2.
Yeah.
Did you set a date for the fall farmers market?
Nope, we're gonna look at August next, and then we'll go to
Okay.
September. Sorry, that's okay. So August would be our Heritage Day. We can pick a date. We're gonna have to discuss Heritage Day further. I have not been overly pleased with the attendance. We need to change it up a bit. So I think we need to look at ideas for our next meeting. Something has to be done with Heritage Day. But we will set a date for it.
Do we still want the blacksmith though? Because the blacksmith.
Oh, he's a great draw, yeah, depending on what we're doing, yes, absolutely. You know, we could have him out for a day and advertise, people would still come to see him. Yeah,
What we can do on the website is we can just say Heritage Day, August,
yes,
and leave it open until the next meeting, until you can decide.
okay,
Just in case you wanted to change up. the
okay,
date.
I just thought with the health unit,
We don't need too much lead
Okay.
time with that.
okay. Okay, so we'll leave the Heritage Day open then, or do you want to set the date?
No, I think it's better to wait and then
Okay,
especially
see
if
what
we
we're gonna
want
do.
specific,
Yeah, we have,
Candidates?
yeah,
we might have to coordinate with other.
The same with is that Pi Day, is that Sunday?
yeah. The other thing is, by next meeting, we have to have something planned in a date, because we like to invite, well, could be somebody else other than Nick. I don't think so.
MP or NP.
That's right,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, at this point,
yes.
Not by
I
July
I
17th.
think
anyway.
no, we're okay, we're still good, July 17th.
I think for Heritage Day, excuse me, the other thing is that if I recall last year, there was lots of overlap with other things that were going on
Yes.
in the area. So I don't know if we can, would other people have things scheduled already? That's hard, eh?
Yeah, it is.
But
And
I can give Jillian the information on our surrounding municipalities and things, and they can do that research.
Yeah, just
it's
so
okay if
that,
something else is going out here, because often they'll do a tour,
yeah.
but if
If
there's
it's
a-
something like a fishing derby or
Yes.
something, you know, like people are gone all day,
Yeah.
they're not coming to a Heritage Festival.
Okay, what about the September one then? Do we have a date for that?
September.
Yeah, I know.
What about Labor Day weekend?
That's what I'm thinking too.
There's not there are a lot of other things going on.
I think it's a good weekend because
Kids ready.
they're getting kids ready to school, they're harvesting the garden. I don't think we can go much later than that for garden
No,
harvesting.
it's once it's,
Yeah.
the tourists are all be gone for sure.
Exactly, so we could do the Sunday would be the 4th, we could do it on. We seem to like Sundays, don't we? How does that sit with everybody else? September the 4th.
Or we could just leave it as September for now.
We can, if you want.
I have a question.
But we kind of need to know dates, so when we're making our plans, we know we can't do things those weekends.
Yes, yes.
Well,
Yeah, next month would be, like I said, that's when we're gonna firm up all of our dates, our main meeting for those 2 dates anyway.
I was wondering if you guys had ever run like the Heritage Day and Pi Day on Saturdays. Did you guys get a different turnout? Or they always?
I think we've worked around the church, is what we've done over the years.
Okay,
Yeah, because they're already out there, and they usually come over.
okay.
I think that's,
The other thing is, I know just on Saturdays, like if you're working, a lot of times, say Chris, on Saturdays, you're running around.
yeah,
Saturday is my errand day.
yeah, you're right, Sunday's my tour day.
Kind
We're
of,
all
you know,
going.
Yeah,
relax,
it's
do
my
things
relaxed
with
Monday.
the family, that kind of stuff. I think that was the thought.
Yeah,
Sometimes a lot of kids activities on the weekends, like on Saturday. Anyway. okay.
Yeah.
That's- So,
and you're talking about weddings and all that, they're on
Yeah.
Saturdays.
yeah,
so-
yeah.
and everything's gonna be a bumper year this year because people can get together. So,
Yeah.
So maybe Sundays would be.
Yeah.
Less busy.
Mhm. Okay, so we will think then, we've got our Pi Day date. We will firm up our heritage and our whole date next meeting. And please bring your ideas, think about what we want to do, something different for Heritage Day. It's too predictable.
Yeah, we need something that's
Yes,
gonna make people want to come.
Yeah.
I have another question.
yes,
I noticed when I was looking through some things last year that at one point they had horse-drawn wagon rides.
can't do that anymore.
We can't do that anymore.
Nobody does it, I don't think either.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah,
Couple of horses, boots, and
Yeah.
there's some vehicles, and
yeah.
That was the end of it.
Yeah. Not in our, not in our.
Not on
watch.
here, but it just takes one or
Yeah.
two in the province.
Yeah.
Matthews do it, but that's on their own.
Yes,
property,
that's
with
right.
their own- Yeah,
And
so,
don't forget, we're gonna have to,
That's horse and sleigh.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not a
it's on their
wagon.
own property.
yeah,
When that same horse and sleigh went to take the people from the East Home for a little ride around town before Christmas one year, the police pulled them off the road. Oh, yeah. Mainly because it wasn't all licensed and everything else, so,
On the property.
so they're,
there was a time that you could do that stuff, but it's kind of.
Not anymore. There's so much stuff that.
That's right. And the other thing we can talk about down the road a little bit will be the July the 1st celebrations that we have with our fireworks. If we want to leave the museum open, we can get that night. Or set up a concession stand over there.
That was the other thing, because this past year, we were taking holidays on Canada Day.
We were taking,
Like, the student, like, I and the students were told not to come to work that day.
yes,
Would we be working that day?
well, we don't always have the, we
not
don't
usually
normally
on
have them
Canada
on
Day.
Canada.
Oh,
Day.
it's not, okay,
No, no. So,
We do our celebration just before.
okay.
Yeah.
That's,
because there's only so many people that can let off fireworks.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanna
We
go.
do that so that we look at what everybody around us is doing, so
Yeah.
we can fit it in there, so we get people.
okay, gotcha.
The other thing is the candy floss machine.
Yes,
That would be great for Canada Day. What did we need? We want the cover for the inside, but what was the,
The electrical switch needs to be looked at.
yeah, okay.
I can't remember, I remember,
I think it was the electrical switch, yeah.
yeah, but I can't remember whether parts have been ordered or.
No, we haven't ordered anything yet.
That's in the budget. but that's
Yeah,
all.
okay,
Okay.
so, maybe we could have Will look at that. Like, does he know who would fix that? Where would we bring it? Does anybody know where we would take that in for an electrical issue?
I don't know, I think there's an appliance repair in May.
But we could probably speak to a local electrician just to look at it.
Okay,
However, you need a new dome for it.
the dome is only for the inside. If we use it outside, we don't need a dome, but I think we budgeted for the dome.
Yeah. But if you use the dome outside, is it just safer? Or do you, I don't know anything about.
I don't
I
know
think it
anything
stops
about
it
them,
from
to be
flying
honest.
everywhere. It stops
Yeah.
like sugar getting everywhere.
Yeah.
Bugs, things like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
well,
burning
if the
people.
wiring is,
Yes.
yeah, If the wiring can be addressed, then absolutely order the dome right away. But the wiring,
Where is the machine?
it's in the museum. On the counter, it's in the kitchen. Still,
I can't remember.
that's where it was anyway.
I can't remember whether Will took it away or if it's
Oh,
still
okay.
there.
Maybe it's at the fire hall.
Maybe.
Probably
Well, I don't
very
think it's
enjoying
so
their
weird.
evening.
Yeah.
Check out his house, they can see they can have it on the winter.
Yeah.
I can vouch not because I've been there. If he wasn't, he was hiding it when I went there.
No, I think it's probably still in the kitchen.
Okay, yeah. I think
Going to their
probably is
meetings.
too. Yeah. Because we want to do a couple of trial runs with that, make sure we know what we're doing.
Yes.
So
And
it's-
I wonder
and
what
just to
does
let you know, it's not the easiest thing.
No, I'm sure it isn't, but.
I guess it would be, we did it outside at the lake
Yeah.
and it was not easy.
You used to be the commercial one? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when I was in Dearborn,
Well-
somebody in Jellicoe owned the machine, but they didn't come and show us how to use it. They just dropped it off.
Oh,
And then we had to figure out, and then it was outside, it was a windy day.
Oh,
gosh.
well, the good thing now is, did we get a we didn't get a pamphlet with it, did we?
I think I found
If
I
not,
found an instructional YouTube video from the board.
Yeah, you should be able to download.
yeah, we should be able to download the manual for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've already used that thing, because he went my artist used and I downloaded the manual, get it put back together. And it just came with a big bucket of nuts and bolts and no parts were marked, so it was interesting. Okay, so, yeah, that's something we need to look at right away, so we can have it for July the 1st at least. Anything else that we want to plan? Those are our big days. And again, with the Heritage Day, when we talk about that set date, that's another job for you, that those first 3 or 3.5 weeks when you're getting everything ready would be to make the list and start for the silent auction. Because we're going to have one. That's a fundraiser for us, and it's a big one, and we have to start right away because some small businesses only will donate to 1 or 2 places they can. So we need that. We also rate in those first couple of weeks, we need to have the invitation sent out to, actually, we could do that beforehand, right, Brenda? Once we set our dates, could you send the invitation?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
before and,
All
I actually usually call them.
Yes,
too.
okay.
Last time when I called them, they did tell me just to send an email.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We can do both. Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, did we have anything else that I missed here?
The only thing for an event that we didn't talk about, like we're starting in July, so that's like 2.5 months after Jillian starts and a month and a half after we open. I just wonder if like we need to do something like a grand opening or like just something earlier to like actually get people there. Like I don't mean like making it some massive thing where we're trying to get 100 people there, but just something of a date to really get people knowing and getting momentum building for the summer.
It's a good idea, Chris.
We used to have the strawberry social.
Yeah, we had the strawberry social in the past. No, actually, Chris, the Pine Day is taking over strawberry
Strawberry
social. So
social.
that was always in
You
July.
guys used to do the yard sale.
Yes, we used to do the yard
Yes.
sale.
I was wondering to tie in with your sort of farmer's market in fall, what if we did a plant sale? Because some people's.
Oh,
when you
yeah,
start
yeah.
plants, you have a bunch
Yeah.
in one kind,
But we, you mean a plant sale in,
like in May,
In
when people
May.
are starting to put their gardens in the ground.
yeah, that's fine. The only thing is, do we have enough time to,
We need plants.
yeah.
I don't know.
yeah, we
And
need
that
to
could
plan it.
be tied in with like what Chris was saying.
Yes.
But I mean, when we had done the renovations to the church and to the candy store, we had like a grand opening.
Oh, yeah,
so
we
to
had,
speak.
yes.
And I mean, we could, even though we haven't made any changes, we are opening after
After
COVID.
COVID.
So I get Chris's point that
Yeah,
like we can
finally
close. Yeah.
Yeah, and what we've had in the past for the first 2 years, once we put the candies in, was we had a piñata with candy outside. We had the dignitaries there. And, you know, and opening for the candy store. So it was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. And we had a lot of people.
you know, yeah, just, and we have the Straw Hat Man playing. and
Yes, yes.
It was
Yeah.
just kind of pleasant.
Yeah.
And, you know, we could do something
Yeah.
like that, just something simple, easy, like Chris is saying, have lemonade. I think we have lemonade.
Yeah, we offer lemonade and cupcakes. We all make
Yeah,
cupcakes,
we all
yes.
make cupcakes and yeah, just tell everybody to come on out and say hi at the museum kind of thing.
Yeah, we could advertise for that again. That's a good idea.
That would be, the lemonade cupcakes would be nice on, if we're opening on the May long weekend, that would be.
Oh, perfect for the May long weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, lemonade and cupcakes. And we need to advertise for,
You doing that on Saturday?
May
or Sunday?
20th.
Saturday or Sunday
I think the Saturday.
for the long weekend, okay?
Or is that the weekend we're going to open on the Friday?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the May 20th?
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't looked at calendar.
So Saturday, May
Yeah,
21st.
so that would be better on a Saturday.
Yeah, what day is that, Chris?
May 21st.
21st.
Okay, so we need to start advertising for that. We need some posters. I guess that'll be a job for you for the first day, Jillian, is put the sign up outside.
Yep.
Okay,
I can ask Christine to work on a poster
that would be great.
for that event.
Yeah, we can share it on Facebook and put it in a couple of stores.
Yeah.
What about the day to day? Do they advertise? How do you get on there, Brenda?
I have no idea, but I can.
Could go on the fire department side.
A lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
news websites, they have, you can sort of submit an event
Yes.
Oh,
and it will come up on their events page. It won't be an article or anything like
Yeah.
that, but it lists the events in the area.
Okay, and Mary, you can put that in the paper.
Yeah, and it'll go on their Joel one too.
Okay,
Okay. The North Bay Nipissing News or whatever. they're-
okay, so that's going to be on the May 21st. So we definitely have to be ready for that day, candies and everything. We'll discuss the cupcakes lemonade at the next meeting.
Again, that would be something, if you're gonna make cupcakes, I recommend you make here.
Get them here. We did do that the last time.
Did we get a license for it?
Yes, we did. So we probably need a license. Unless we want to be here and make them.
I think you still need a.
We still need a permit. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll try for the heat. We're bringing our own. That doesn't work. We'll have to make them.
I'll gladly come and help with the cooking stuff.
Don't bring any. Yeah, thank you.
That's my.
My thing. And here's the, yeah, you shoot the baker. Oh, yeah, you told them that, that's your problem now.
That's what I like to do.
Okay, do we have any,
I need to add her name to the pilot.
yeah, yeah, oh, there you go,
There you
yeah.
go,
She's
another
just living up
tiny
the
girl.
road now.
I'm here now.
Yeah. Okay, does anybody have anything else that I have overlooked? Going once. Twice. 3 times, okay. So our next meeting is slated for May the 4th. Same time, here again. So I want ideas for Heritage Day. And we'll pick a date then, and the fall fair, we'll pick a date then.
I think one thing with Heritage Day, Liz, we should think about at the rec committee of whether we could try and put our movie night kind of on the same day as Heritage Day and kind of pair off a few things, and whether that would be an interesting thing, just because I think we'll have rec committee before we have museum board again.
Yes, that is a good idea, Chris.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Tie in as much as you can.
But thank you for mentioning the rec committee also, because I forgot to tell you on the strategic plan. I brought it up at the rec committee. I've already talked to you about it. I forgot to put it on there. My feeling is that we've extended Jillian's hours as much as we can. Because you know, we can't keep the building, not in its present state, but I do feel down the road, we should have one full-time employee that takes care of the museum and the recreation, would be an extra employee for the township that would take care of the renting of the hall, researching grants. The summer would be the museum. The off season would be the researching grants. They can also do, there are also things that can be done on paper for the museum.
Providing that
Yeah.
it's not an expense that.
Yeah, so because, I mean, we have a beautiful hall here. It's not utilized. We don't have the manpower. We can't have a rec committee. And we have our main place, and maybe that's
But we
enough.
only
for
just got a
everyone.
rec committee back too. We have
Yeah.
to give that, we have to give the rec committee a chance
Oh,
to
we
do their
still need
thing
a rec
too.
committee. We still need a rec committee. But I think that one full-time position that covers all of it, long overdue.
That would be awesome, because then you would have programming.
Yes.
In our township.
Exactly.
Instead of going elsewhere all the time.
We all go to Powassan, we all know that. We go to trivia night, we go to whatever, the yoga, whatever they're offering there, that's where we're all going.
And that's
Not
really
me.
tough.
I was going to Calendar.
Okay.
Amanda, that's,
Yes,
you know.
Yeah.
Am I not nice?
so I just wanted to mention that and put it on the strategic plan. Okay, thanks, Chris. Okay, so that's everything. Next meeting is May the 4th, same time, right here, 7 p.m. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
Brenda, okay?
Yeah, she better do one.
I can't do the others.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. We also need to advertise this for a couple of new members. I think we have 7, do we not?
Yes.
5 at large, do we have 5 at large?
We have a full museum board right now with Carrie's leaving.
We have an opening for 1.
Did you say you're living with your dad?
That's for offline.
Hmm?
That's for offline. Good night, Chris.
Good night, Chris.